Good morning, boys and girls. This week we are starting a new science unit, and I'm kind of excited because I think that this is interesting stuff. First, we're going to learn some basics about it. Today's just an introduction, and then we'll do some testing. We'll do some hands-on activities with it as well. First, we're going to watch a video, and then we're going to look through a couple of pages. I didn't have the pages yet when I made your packets, so I will get the pages to you. I do want you to follow along and listen as we talk about it today, but I'm not going to, really all that you were doing is just gluing it in your science notebook, so that way you have it to look back at during the unit, but also to study for our test. So I will make sure that you get those next week, but don't worry about not having them today, okay? Today is just going to be talking about those couple of pages that I'll show you in just a minute, and then we're going to watch the video, and then tomorrow you're going to do a short activity to practice sorting. I almost said sorting based 10 blocks because I glanced over at a sticky note. What was I saying? You're going to practice sorting matter. So we are talking about solids, liquids, and gases, and all of this stuff is wrapped up into one large topic called states of matter. So matter is anything that takes up space, and I'm matter, you are matter. The chair that you're sitting on is matter. Your computer is matter. The air when we breathe out, that is matter. We can't see it, but it still takes up space, and we know that it's there because if you put your hand in front of your mouth, you can feel that air, so it takes up space. But if you do put your hand in front of your mouth, make sure you wash your hand also. That way we aren't spreading our germs. Especially right now during winter, it's cold and flu season, and with the state of everything else. What else is matter? Everything. Everything is matter. The milk that you pour on your cereal is matter. It takes up space, right? But matter can come in 3 different stages. It can be either a solid. I'm trying to think if I'm getting ahead of myself. Probably. But it can be a solid. And I probably should have had the camera on so you could see me. I didn't expect to go into this little rant before I started the video. I'm sorry. It can be a solid where we can touch it and the solid holds its shape. Okay? So we can touch it. It's solid. It holds its shape. And its shape doesn't change just by sitting there or just by touching it. That's not to say that a solid shape can't change. It can change, but it not on its own. A liquid, we can also touch a liquid, like we can touch water, we can touch milk, but it doesn't have a shape of its own. A liquid takes the shape of the container that it's in. So if we pour liquid into a bowl, the liquid takes the shape of that bowl. But if we spill liquid on the counter on the floor, it spreads out as far as it can travel because it doesn't have anything to help it hold its shape. And then gases. Gases are typically things that we can't see, but sometimes we are able to see them. Oh, I was like, why do I feel like we already talked about gas? Because I remember taking a picture of my stove. But that was the water cycle. Gases we can't typically see, but they are very, they expand to take up the space. So the air that we breathe is a gas. We can't see it, but it's filling our room all around us. Our breath is a gas, and when we're talking or breathing, it spreads out into the air all around us. But if we breathe our breath into a balloon, the walls of the balloon hold that air in, so it fills up that space that it's in, but it doesn't go past there. So we'll talk more about that. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an introduction of those. But let's watch the video first.
Smile and learn.
Ugh, it's so hot. Hey there, I'm making some strawberry popsicles. It's steaming hot today, and I really wanted to have one. But for them to stay solid, I'd have to put them in the freezer like these ones and wait for a while. Really? You don't know what a solid is? It's one of the states of matter. Don't worry, I'll tell you all about them right away. Matter, the substance all things are made of, exists in 3 states: liquid, like this strawberry juice; solid, like this popsicle; and gas, like the water vapor coming out of this pot. Everything we drink is in its liquid state. Matter, in its liquid state, takes on the shape of the container, and its volume always stays the same. Particles are separated and can move freely. Can you see how they're moving? They look like they're dancing. The popsicles we eat are solid. Matter in its solid state is characterized by having a fixed shape and volume. Particles are held together in an organized structure. See? Lastly, the gaseous state. The vapor coming out of the pot is a gas. Matter, in its gaseous state, can change its volume and shape, taking up the space of its container. See? Particles are well separated and can move freely. Look, they move like crazy. Did you get the idea? Let's recap a little. Matter exists in 3 states: solid, liquid, and gas. Solid matter has a definite shape and volume. Particles are well organized and held closely together. Liquid matter takes on the shape of its container, occupying always the same space. Besides, particles are separated and can move freely. Gas matter doesn't have a fixed shape or volume. Its particles are well separated and can move freely. That is all about states of matter. Very interesting, isn't it? Well, I'm leaving now. I won't sell any popsicles if I don't. See you around.
Alrighty. So we learned about the different states of matter. I'm going to show you these pages now that I was talking about. I'll remind you next week when you get them, but all you're going to do is cut around the outside and glue them in your science notebook or put them in your science folder. And if you have time and you want to, you can color the person. I do want you to color the pictures that show the solids, but again, I'll remind you about that next week. So how do you know, or did you know, I can't read, that a solid, keeps its own shape? So like a chair keeps its own shape. When you sit on it, it doesn't just crumble. It keeps its own shape. And everything is made up of molecules. Molecules are very, very small and we cannot see them, but everything is made up of molecules. We are made up of molecules. The table that my computer is sitting on is made up of molecules. The table or floor or wherever your computer is sitting on, it's made up of molecules. Your computer is even made up of molecules. And in a solid, they are tightly packed together and in a regular pattern. We're going to learn more about that. And it keeps its own volume. So that means that it doesn't get bigger or smaller. It keeps its shape and it keeps its volume. So we're going to color only the pictures that show solids below. I know that you don't have your page, so I'm going to hold off on this and we'll come back to this next week after you get your page. But real quick, we'll talk about it. I'm going to pause. I want you to pause on the video so you can see this and take a look and see which ones you think are the solids. Which ones are the solids? All right, did you take a second to think about which ones are the solids? They're all solids except for the wind and coffee, right? The wind is not a solid, and the coffee is not a solid. Wind is a gas, and coffee is a liquid. But a shoe, acorn, chair, hat, and skateboard are all solids. Okay? Same type of page, just this is about liquids. Did you know that a liquid flows to fill the shape of the container that it is in? And that the molecules flow around each other. It keeps its own volume. So again, it doesn't get bigger or smaller. It just takes the shape of the container that it's in. So if I have a glass full of water and I pour it into, and if I pour it like onto the counter, it spreads out, but there's no more water there than there was in the glass. It just has a bigger space that it can spread out, so it might look like there's more. Or maybe I pour a small glass of water into a larger glass, and you might think that the liquid looks less in the bigger glass, but there's the same amount of liquid. The container is just a different size. So it doesn't get bigger or smaller, but it keeps its volume. And then again, go ahead, pause the video, look at these pictures and think which ones you think are liquids. All right. This one's kind of gross. Blood. Blood is a liquid though. So blood is liquid, milk is liquid, juice is liquid, water is liquid, and soda is liquid. The only two that are not liquid is helium, which is a gas, and a snowman. Water is one of the most unique types of matter, or matter? I don't know. Water is one of the most unique things because it can be all three, and liquid water is a liquid, but snow as a snowman is not a liquid. All right, this is our last page, and it's about gases. Did you know that a gas expands to fill the space that it's in, has molecules that are further apart from each other, and it does not keep its volume, so it can get bigger or smaller? Go ahead and pause and see which ones you think are gases. All right. The ones that are gases are odors, helium, winds, carbon dioxide, and propane. Excuse me. All of these things are gases. None of them we can see, but we can feel them all, and we do know that they are there. An oil is a liquid, and then a stapler is a solid. All right. Like I said, we will revisit these pages next week. I will make sure to get them to you, and we will go back through and color them. Okay? Thank you for hanging out with me today and putting up with my random thought process. But I hope that you guys have a great day, and I will see you later.